Action. Hello,
Hello,
welcome to our channel, The Gabriel Couple.
Gabriel couple. Okay, it's not
Yeah,
couple, it's couple. Okay.
yeah,
Gabriel couple.
because couple is two.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes.
yeah, welcome to our channel, The Gabriel Couple, where we talk about all things from friendship to marriage.
Okay. What does you want me to say? Why are you looking at me?
You are
Yeah,
so
say
boring.
that.
Anyways, today, let's get right to it. Today, we're going to be talking about the friendship spectrum.
Hmm.
Yes, we are going to be talking about the friendship spectrum because we believe, or in fact, it's not just belief, it's fact. Friendship is the bedrock of every romantic relationship. It is the bedrock. Being married, we understand the fact that there are times when in marriage the love bank is not. Oh, in fact, there are many times that the love bank is not full. You understand? So being able to communicate as friends, being able to see each other as friends is something that would make your relationship sustainable. And we are finding the fact that a lot of people, in fact, the concept of friendship, you know, even when feelings are involved and allowing that friendship to last is getting lost, you know.
Yeah, I feel like that it's been a major challenge, for a lot of, close people around us. And, I feel like where do we even start from now? Maybe intentions. I feel
Mm,
like most times intention, that's motives are wrong.
mm,
Knowledge is wrong. I think knowledge is a major factor. I
yeah,
think if we don't just have the knowledge,
there's a
we later
huge.
learned on in life that these things need to be taught. Like you don't just know them. And when it gets, most people don't see the need for knowledge until they get to the romantic side. They realize now that the whole emotional thing cannot, it's not sustainable. We just throw your emotions all over the place. So I think that's something that.
Very true. There's a huge knowledge gap. When you're in school, it's easy to make friends. You have something in common, your classmates. It was so easy, and I can testify because you are just easier at making friends than me. Like since I left school, because all my friends, my close friends, are dispersed. Right? It's been a difficult thing to make friends, and I'm just so lucky that I found the love of my life in school.
Hallelujah.
Because my people
Hallelujah.
that I know that are single now, our peers that are single now, when I speak to them, you're like, is it that hard to make friends?
It's surprising. It's so
I
surprising.
was talking to somebody the other day, somebody I'm trying to I'm discipling, right?
Okay.
And she was telling me that she's almost 30 and she can't see, since she moved to Lagos, she has not seen a guy friend, so a
Wow.
guy that she can be friends with.
I think there's also the social narrative of the fact that there are some social lies I've seen. The
Mm-hmm.
fact that guy and a girl cannot be friends, and that's something that is so ridiculous because
Mm.
if a guy and a lady cannot be friends, then they shouldn't be married. That's the truth. That's what I believe. If a guy and a lady cannot be friends, then they should be married. So there should be honest friendships first before relationships build into romantic relationships and all that. Second lie is that you can't marry your friend. That's another second stupid lie.
If you don't
And
marry your friend, who
so
else are you
because
marrying?
of this, a lot of people don't want to invest in relationships until they are sure it's getting to marriage, so that they don't become too familiar too soon. I think that's one of the things that the people are afraid of, and I feel like these things are myths. I and my wife, we knew each other. I'm not advising. I always say this. I'm not advising anybody to stay that long. I mean, we are called to a particular congregation, so I'm not advising anybody to date as long as we did, but we've known each other for how many years now? For about
11 years.
11 years, going to 12 years. And we've been married just 4 years, but we dated like 4 years before we finally got married. So, and it's not as if we didn't get familiar with each other. We did, but we didn't allow that, destroy the relationship. At that point in time when you start getting familiar is where you start asking the important questions. And I think that's what, when people get to that stage, because the questions will bring out the capacity of the person you are relating with. When you have gone past the how are you fine, are you boo boo, you know when you've gone past that, when you've gone past that place, that's when the real capacity of the person is about to show. And by the time, because most people have not built themselves you know, when they get to that place, or they don't have knowledge, when they get to that place, the relationship crumbles because, you know, like they didn't expect it to be that serious.
Yeah.
And so
Literally, they didn't expect it to be that serious in the
Yeah.
sense that they didn't know, they thought it was just going to flow. Do you
Just keep
understand?
flowing.
And it brings me back to understanding that even when, like, feelings are not a good indicator for why you should date somebody.
Yeah,
That is why the friendship has to last.
I think, you know, considering what you just said, the thing is that there's another social lie that if you have feelings for someone, just like you said, if you have feelings for someone, it means, you know, you should date. And the honest truth is that I said this once, and I believe it strongly. If you talk to somebody whom you're not initially very attracted to for long, and you guys begin to have common things that interest you guys, feelings will pop up.
Yes.
Possibilities of emotional connection will pop up. And for anybody, to be honest, for any, I mean, opposite sex, unfortunately nowadays, even for some people, but let's not go there. But you know, if you engage long enough, that's the reason why some people advise that you shouldn't have too many lady friends, regular, you know, or lady best friends for guys, because you know the chances that feelings will pop up before, you know, you have an opportunity to, feelings can mess up the relationship. So
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, we need to demystify some of
this. You know, the funny thing is that, you know, they believe that I have feelings for this person, so I should date this person. When in fact, it's not a good indicator, like I said before. And feelings are meant to be managed. Because they are so fickle, so they are not meant to be the criteria for why you date somebody. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Feelings are meant to be managed. That's why, you know, right now, feelings, that you said, feelings sometimes ruin relationships, right? But it shouldn't be that way. It's because we've not learned to manage those feelings. So before we get into further details, in fact, let us define this thing called the friendship spectrum. I think it's something that we termed, is a term that we coined, right? We believe that there is a friendship spectrum where from you get to meet somebody, you are attracted to the person, you get to know somebody. It may not even be attraction, just something in common brings you close. You start to talk, you start to maybe have feelings for each other, and then you begin to handle, or you seem to be able to handle some responsibilities for the feelings that come up. Yeah. And then as your feelings are graduating, you determine whether you're ready to handle the responsibilities for the level of feelings for the commitment level that those feelings require. And as you go on the commitment level, you get to marriage, which is the highest form of friendship.
Yeah.
So that's basically the friendship spectrum.
You know, So so I think this is how we have termed it, and it's not law, but it's just an observation, whatever they call it. But I've noticed that a lot of people just allow feelings to flow. So what we're saying, that's not something like you say, like you're trying to take a definition and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. But actually, it's something that happens throughout the course of the relationship. It takes people who are knowledgeable to define the moment we are in. You know, there are some people who think they are just regular friends, who say they are just regular friends, but they are angry if, you know, regular friend doesn't call them after 2 days. You should know that you are not regular friends anymore, because regular friends, there are some people that they don't call you for a month and you're not going to die. A month may be extreme. Let's say maybe 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Yeah, they don't call you and it's not a do or die affair. But for me, there are some guys I know who are very tight, but we don't talk often. We don't talk. Sometimes 3 weeks, we don't talk often. But then when you are with the opposite sex and you realize that you feel cheated if, you know, you don't speak for a short period of time, you should know that you are leaving the realm of, oh, we are just guys, deceiving yourself, especially for the guys. I mandate that men should define relationships. And once you notice that this is getting to, you know, this has gone past just the regular friendship, define it and know, okay, that's an indicator for you to know if okay, the information I have about this person, is it enough for me to go to the next level? You know, the character I know about this person, the things I know about this person, is it enough for me to move to the next level of commitment? Do you understand? Not just, oh, it's true, we are feeling each other, Do you feel? Yes, I feel. Let's date. That's one problem.
You are even saying let's date. Some of them said they'll
We
just
just
start,
continue.
they'll just be
I tell you,
playing with the feelings.
that's the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
Because it will be so sweet, but then if you don't curtail it over time, trust me,
It
it
won't be
will have a serious
sustainable.
backlash.
Yeah.
And it will get to a point that one person will be taking one person for granted. And it won't be intentional. You get. So that's something that I've really noticed. Is you defining every moment in a relationship. Okay, this person, I've noticed that out of all the babes I talk to this person more. There's something about this babe. So it's time to start asking important questions. Maybe that's time to start asking, what is love to you? What is, start asking the questions that normally that okay, staying with
Do
the
we
person.
have the same values?
Yeah. So what are your values? Maybe you ask you don't have to ask what are your values. You ask questions that will show, like okay, if you're in the office, are you willing to, shortchange or add a zero, or so what values that this person has, because now you know that there's a connection that is more than just a regular friendship. So there are some things that you should know. So that's
another thing that is becoming a pandemic in this time is the pressure to date when you're, like people don't understand the boundaries of friendship anymore. So I'm there for you when you're not feeling well, just because if like I'm the opposite sex, I'm not. Let's say okay, let's say you're as you're a guy now, and you show up for me when times are rough. You show up for me when I really need you. There's this pressure to now start. You now start saying,
what is
does
this
this guy?
really?
What does this really mean? You start trying to define things that are not really there when you can just wait.
It's a pandemic.
To see where like don't use like people cannot just even be
nice
anymore.
Yeah,
without the pressure of dating. So this was one of the things that I like. The concept of friendship is just getting lost. Right?
Yeah, so I will say that I think it's a loss of balance between both the person showing the care and the person receiving the care. So as much as yes, you want to always be there when it matters. That's what true friendship is, by the way. Not just for the babe, but for both your guys. That when it matters, not just being there all the time, because then you become familiar and you get boring. But then when it matters, you show up for the person. But you see, also when it comes to the opposite sex, there should be boundaries, because I've noticed that especially for the females, their attraction is consumative. So the more you give, the more they want you to give.
Yeah.
So that's where you set the boundaries. So you do it and you let the person know that, look, this is who I am normally, and I will do this for any other person. Okay, so at that point in time they start asking you, so what are we? That's unfortunately most of the ladies now. When what are we? You tell them we are friends.
Yeah.
And this is how I treat my friends.
Exactly.
And if truly that's how you treat your friends, she will notice it. Because when your guy is in trouble, you will move. It's not for you to say I treat my friend at the end of the day. When she calls you, that you go out of your way.
So what's the message we are trying to pass across today? I think for me, it's that we need to bring back the habit of making friends just for friends' sake. And why this is important is because I'm seeing that there's a pressure amongst people in their 20s, our peers, people in their early 30s, even late 30s. This whole wanting a partner is countering something that should actually be groundwork for getting that partner that we're looking for.
Yes, let me tell you, honest viewer, you see, you will not marry better than what you really are. That's the honest truth. Whether how you see it, and the way to know who you really are is to see the company of people around you. And if you are a loner, that's a bad sign for anyone who wants to marry you. It's a bad time for me. I counsel people and I let them know. And if you have someone that you cannot see any other person around them to know, because when you're dating somebody, once you start dating, you are compromised emotionally. But you can know what you face in the future if you see how she treats regular people, because one day you're going to join her boat. Do you get? And so that's something that is very, very key. And so the self-development, when I talk about it, I'm not talking about financially. First of all, things like, why do I want to get married? Those things should be sorted before you start thinking about dating, relationships, just make friends and be honest. Like the issue of selflessness is not only in marriage, it should show from friendship. The issue of, okay, the demand for knowing people, their purpose, knowing if purposes align, knowing if interests align, knowing if beliefs align. It's not just for marriage, it's also for friendship's sake. And I think that if we do that, if you become a good friend, you are 50% there into becoming a good husband or a good wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it.
It's once you're able to answer those questions, like if you already allow room to be able without the feelings, without allowing the feelings cloud the whole relationship, you allow room to be open to one another, to be vulnerable with one another, to get to a level of trust with one another as friends, without the pressure of, oh,
This guy
how
may
is
like
this
me.
person? Does he like me? Are we dating? What are his intentions for me? Let's just bring back the habits of allowing friendship to last for friendship's sake.
One more thing, anybody
Yeah.
who tells you things like, I'm not going to be doing dating thing, I just want marriage straight. Run, run, run.
I beg.
I will say this. I'm not saying that friendship is like a pass mark for marriage. Like once you are good friends, your marriage will be fine. That's not what I'm saying. We're just saying it's a good tool and a bedrock to be able to test the person that you are with, and it will help you in marriage. You see, at the end of the day, what will sustain a marriage is decision, the ability to make decisions. This, as in, aside your feelings, that's the honest truth. Commitment level is not based on emotion. I just feel like in this generation there should be some time for getting to know each other.
Yeah. I think in our next video we're going to talk about, okay, in that, how do we, like, what's the friendship stage should really entail? That first part of the first phase of the spectrum, what
Okay.
it should really entail, and how that can actually help you to see, to not be deceived by what the clouds that the person is using to shroud their real selves.
Yeah.
I think we'll talk more about that in our
All
next
right.
video.
That'll be good.
So thank you so much for speaking with us for this video. We hope we have been able to convince you
And not to confuse you.
about the importance of friendship for friendship's sake. And that's our daughter saying bye. Okay.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.